Hi, my name is Mpho Malematja. I am a scientist currently working as a curator of birds at one of the leading museums in South Africa. So just to start with an overview of my journey, I started at the University of Limpopo, where I completed a BSc majoring in zoology and human physiology. I then moved to the University of Pretoria to study my honors and masters, specializing in avian physiology, and recently completed my honors degree in life science education, also at the University of Pretoria. In terms of the challenges that I encountered in my journey in science, I think the first one would have to be a general lack of information about what is available as areas of specialization within the field of sciences. So I registered for a BSc because I wanted to get into medicine. But unfortunately for me, I failed first year dismally. And because I failed, I wasn't permitted to study medicine. But fortunately in that year, one of the subjects that I did well in was life sciences. And because I did so well in life sciences, the university permitted me to register for my second year in zoology while repeating first year. So during that year, I discovered my passion for birds because one of the chapters that we covered was ornithology, and I did not know that ornithology even existed until I reached second year. So it's quite important that if you're going into the field of science and you want to do science, do your research about what's available out there. My second challenge that I encountered, not something that I encountered, but I think it's worth mentioning because most of my fellow students encountered this, and that is lack of funding to pursue postgrad. This is a very difficult one given the economic state of our country, but I know a lot of young people who want to pursue science but they don't have the resources to do so. And I would advise that if you are considering a career in science, talk to the right people even when you're in undergrad. Approach professors, approach people, and just volunteer to do field work, volunteer to do lab work for free while you're doing your undergrad, so that by the time you get to final year you have an idea of what you want to study and where you want to study. And if you're lucky enough, you can also have a project by the time you're doing final year, and you can use that project to approach organizations such as the NRF and apply for funding to study for postgrad. The last challenge that I encountered, I would say mental health. I know it's a hot topic and it's a trending topic, but in science it's a real thing and it's a real challenge. During my masters, I had quite a lot of pressure to complete, and I decided to pack my bags and go home and take a breather from science for a while to recover my mental health state. And lucky enough, I came back into science as an employee rather than a PhD student, and it's still an option that I'm considering pursuing. But I would advise everyone to just really not equate your self-worth to your work, because science is not a smooth sailing. It does not always go the way that we want. You don't always get the results that you want when you want them, and if you're equating your self-worth to your work, that will really impact on your mental health and lead to issues like depression. The best advice that I got from one of my supervisors was to enjoy the process of science as much as you look forward to the results of science. If you're in science and you're finding yourself just looking forward to publishing and getting the accolades and the results rather than actually enjoying what you're doing, then I think it's time for an introspection. And just all the best. And for all those who are still coming into the career of science, we welcome you with open hands and wish you all the best in your pursuit.